Yeah, alrighty. We're back with another kind of review video here of Farming Sim 25. This time with the Praries and Plains pack. Definitely has quite a bit of new equipment to play with. But it doesn't really add any gameplay. Well, it doesn't add any new gameplay. Just another equipment pack. Got quite a bit laid out here as I've been going over all the new stuff. Trying to see how it compares to the normal game. And I got opinions. Personally, I don't really find much use in it. There are a few things I do find somewhat useful. But as you can see here, we get a bunch of new tractors, some new equipment. Mostly these slurry sprayers are something I was looking at. And we get a new international semi to play with. Another one of the front loaders, but all front loaders don't really matter. But we'll get into the tractors in a minute. One thing I gotta say is we do get the Seed Hawk back. I do say back as we had it in the. Holy crap! Got how many of these I spawned. Here we go. We got the Seed Hawk back because it was in the base game back in 19, disappeared for 22, and now gets back in this one as a DLC. I don't like that. You're gonna offer it in the base game in a previous year. Why is it not in the base game in this year? Or the year prior, which wasn't even released as a DLC. I'm guessing some company bullshit, but why are you making people pay for something that was already in one of your previous games? That to me is bullcrap. But yes, back in 19 and now again in this one with the DLC, you have the biggest freaking cedar. Seriously, this thing's ridiculous. I never playing with this back then, doing a big old wheat field. It was absolutely ridiculous to keep track of, especially when you're trying to use this whole Case IH quad track to do it. But yes, so you get the Seed Hawk back. You used to 19, you already know it. See, what was it had? Yeah, an 84 footer, 25.6 meter on it. And this year you had this little guy over here was the biggest cedar. Little guy here. He's just a little bitty guy compared to that big ass thing. Well, over here, we're also going to talk about sprayers. Honestly, in basically all of the dang farming sims, I've really only ever used one sprayer, and that was the whole backpack here with Hardy Mega. I'd usually buy these in the beginning and use them all the way until I got a self-propelled one. I wouldn't bother with these guys. But now this one added this self-propelled guy, the Rogator 900, which is this guy in the middle here. Which you'll notice has a way smaller boom than this guy over here, which was already in the base game. So if you're going with a self-propelled, why wouldn't you get the biggest one? That just don't make sense to me. So you actually notice that this one has the same working width as this little guy, which is just a trailer. So why in the heck you would want this guy, I honestly don't know. That's 409 grand for that one, or 420 grand for the bigger one that was already in the base game. I don't know why you would want this one. You can just grab this one for 79 grand, have the same working width, and just use a tractor that you assumably already have at that point. I don't know. I don't get it. Just some things don't make sense. I don't know. Where can we end up? Ah, manure spreaders. talk about these for a minute. This is the biggest base game working with the distributor. So the distributor and the tank come separately. But this is the biggest tank on the biggest distributor there is in the base game. Now this is a 30 wit, I do believe, if I remember correctly. Yep, 36 meter. 36. Alright. But if you look at the tankers, it adds these two right here. But all the same, the only difference is this one's smaller, this one's a lot bigger. So that one holds 35.9. Whatever. English don't work with me. It holds a lot more than this one does. And it's actually the biggest tank in the game. As the only other one, that one's 32. So yeah, it'd be this one. It's the other biggest one. That's 32 in the base game. Whereas this one's 35. However, this one has to have an additional distributor, so you'd have to pay for the distributor over here with the biggest working width. Be what I would do, just 36. Whereas this only has a 16 meter. So you're paying for more storage, like 3 meters of storage, for half of the working width. Which again don't make much sense. It is a lot cheaper, mind you. But then again, you could use this guy right here, which is what I was showing. Which holds 20. And it's 35, so it does hold less. But again, can still hold the biggest one, which is the same price as the original tank. Again, I guess it's just a self-preference thing. I'd much rather work with this. They did add a new disc here over here and a auger wagon. Again, I've played the base game quite a lot, and I have yet to use an auger wagon or a disc hero. I've never seen the point in either of these. Again, it's probably just a me thing. Maybe I just suck at this. I honestly don't know. But do have a nice big auger wagon if you needed it. I actually forgot to look up what the stats of it were. Guessing that's my main problems. I'm a stats kind of guy. I want to look at all the little stats to see what all the things are to make sure they're worth it. Yeah, so like this one right here. The 190 grand was 171. This one do 141, well this one's only 88. Why wouldn't you just go with this guy? Granted, he is a lot bigger. Crap, that's a big guy. And like that's 60 right there. For a little bit less, doing 88. So I guess if you didn't want to use this big guy, you could do it with that one. And use this one instead. But yeah, I'm not a big chase a bang kind of guy. And of course, you got the plant over here that came along with it as well. Also, another Vaterstad. The planter instead of the cedar. If memory serves, it is actually. Where the heck did it go? You gotta change the menus every dang year they do this. So I keep getting lost in which one's which. So yeah, you get the tempo back. If I remember correctly, that was the biggest one back in 19 as well. And this one you got the blue drive, which is cheaper and has 0.2 more working width. Has a lot less capacity in it though. So yeah, I can say that is the best planter, the Prairie DLC. But it's kind of trying to fill a hole that wasn't really needed, because you do have this guy that technically does have 0.2 more meters, though I wouldn't really consider that much. But it does hold more, so I guess there is that. I'm honestly trying to think. No, this wasn't the biggest one back in 19. I didn't play much of 22, honestly. I was trying to do a kind of Rags to Witches thing in that one. And whichever one of the girls I was playing with got bored on me and quit it, yeah. But that's quite normal with them. They do that a lot. So, on to the trailers here. Went ahead and set this up so that we got the new slurry tanker here. This is the original biggest old one. Why this one is so dang thin, yet really long, I do not know. Weird design choice. But yes, so these are slurry tankers. So that adds this one we're looking at. That's a 39.8. Whereas this one, well, not that one, this one, which is a 30 meter. That's just a little portable container thing. You can go away. But yes, so from a 30 to a 39.8. Quite a bit more, honestly. I just end up buying 2 of them if I needed more. So I can't remember. Does this have a hookup for a dolly? Nah, I wouldn't have one. So I'd honestly just end up buying 2 of these and having to pay so much more for this long guy. I do like this center live axle it's got in it, though. It's actually got middle steering. Found that part pretty cool. This electric thing moving. Yeah, see, so it'll turn with you. Just throws me off how thin and long it is. You'd think you'd make it shorter and fatter. I don't know. That one just throws me off. And then, of course, you got the new live bottom trailer. Let's see which one did it. Let's see in this one. They actually animated the top covers, which is pretty cool. I know before it was just open or close and it would snap which way. It's actually nice to see they put in the effort to actually animate it to do it this time. Yep, there it is. So this one you can jack up. That live bottom part of it. So it'll actually tip up and then you can put it up into something. Really should be using a controller to do this. It's a lot easier. There it is. So, the other option before that was this little guy, which don't have the whole lifty lift. Does this one have a lifty lift? Actually, might have the lift down there. I don't think it's high, though. There you go. Well, let's hook this guy up and see. No, he don't. Okay. Yeah, so he's just tip it up, dump it. Because that guy actually can get a lift on it. And then you can dump it. So, I do gotta say, this trailer is definitely a cooler addition. Just because you can lift it up like that. And then it'll pump it all up there and dump it out. I also wonder how much trouble you'd get in if you drove around like that. Cops would pull you over so damn quick. I don't know, I get weird thoughts. Anyways, I definitely say that is in one of the better additions to the game. Just off of looks, but talking actual Statistics. You got this one that I was looking at. Basically, it holds all the same stuff as this one, which is everything. This one, 103 grand for 36.4. This one being 59.4 for only 95. So, again, costs a lot more for less capacity, and just because you can lift the ass of it up. I mean, why not just use one of the auger wagons at that point? It's not like the pack came with one you could use. Guess that would be a use for it right there. So you can avoid having to use that. Just don't make sense to me. I know I say that a lot. But speaking of sense, then we get to the tractors. I, for the life of me, cannot figure out why in the hell we get 4 new tractors. 2 of them are the exact same, except they're blue and say Ford for some reason. This little versatile here, the 976, is this Ford 976 versatile. Why is it Ford and blue? I don't get that point. Same with the frickin' 1156 in this one. So yay, 4 tractors, 2 of which match the other. I don't know. It don't make sense. So you get 1 new medium tractor, and the rest of these are considered large tractors. This guy comes with a weight and no front attachment point, which I don't like. I prefer buying separate weights and having a front attachment point. The most large tractors, you're not using front attachment points anyway. And say none of these have them. You get all the way up to this guy right here, Versatile 530. You do have this kind of funky looking guy here in the middle. Here. Is Big Roy Versatile. He's weird. Kind of cool. But again, I'm a statistics kind of guy. For the medium tractor, which is this little guy here that actually has a front attachment and you can have a front loader. Good plus for me on having front loaders because I use those all the time for little things. This one I can actually somewhat justify. 182 for maximum 272 horsepower. Obviously, the price is going to go up when you actually put in the bigger motor. Let's see. So that'd be that for 237,000. So 237 on 272 puts you roughly right around here with this guy. That's 249,000 and can go up to 303. It has a base of 203. So to me, that would make sense to go ahead and buy this one, being 237. So it's cheaper than this one, but can have close to the same max horsepower for that price. Again, some people are just going to want to use the same brand tractor because people like different brands. So I guess that could be an issue, be a way if you like versatiles, I guess. I've honestly never understood it. If it does the job, it's good enough for me. I don't care whose name's on it. But so that to me would justify that medium tractor. Good use for it. But then you got all these big guys. Again, these 4, these 2 are the same, and these 2 are the same. There's literally no difference except one's blue and says Ford on it. For some reason, I don't know. Not getting back into that. But the biggest tractor, the Delta Track, is 665. 665 horsepower for $495,000. So let's look into the price range. You're talking a little bit more than this one. This does 673 horsepower. So again, you're paying more base price for something that does pretty much less Why? Why wouldn't you just get that one and upgrade it to the max? It don't make sense to me. Even like Big Roy here, he only has max horsepower of 600 for 219. So yeah, pretty much these are mostly cheaper. She got the 259 there, which is pretty much the same price as this for 425. And this one does 400. So again, why? It just don't make sense. Like these two are 470, these two are 365. You want that kind of horsepower, then actually need to go up to this guy to get over that. That's 382. So I guess for half the price, maybe. Maybe I could justify two of them. Again, not the random Ford versions. I don't know what's with those. Those are just weird. I don't trust them. But yeah, so 470, 471, I guess, is somewhat reasonable. So in fact, you'd have to do damn near triple the price for the same horsepower. But again, these guys are the freaking mid-axle ones. I've never really liked these, mostly because I suck at backing them up. Especially when I'm dragging something around. But well, I'm not really made for that. Again, I guess it's a personal preference thing. There's one other one I wanted to look at. Where the hell did I park it? Parked it somewhere. Oh yeah, there's this guy I wanted to talk about. Weird, because they do have a double application rate button. Basically drains the slurry twice as fast for some reason. Yeah, big boy can't even pull this thing. Struggles like some bitch to get it going. But it has a lift up axle. That apparently don't work when you're spraying. There you go. You can lift up the axle or drop it, depending on how full it is. But now it's too full. So it pretty much needs to be down. But yeah, you can still use it like that and then activate the double or the normal. Doesn't actually change animation or anything, just you can literally watch the number go down twice as fast. Guess you're going too fast, maybe? I don't know. Hmm. I don't know. I gotta say, out of all the tractors, I think Big Boy would have to be my favorite of the new ones. Just because he looks weird. And I'm a guy for weird, I guess. But yeah, so if you like Versatile, I guess you'll like the new Praries and Plains update. Plains and Praries, whichever way it was. Which way was it? I can say it right at least once this freaking thing. Yeah, Plains and Praries. So, like I said, if you like Versatiles, then I'd say this pack's pretty good. Adds in all of them for you. You really get into the whole seating op, then definitely getting the Seed Hawk back would be amazing. Again, annoys the hell out of me that it was available in a base version back in 19, so why you have to pay for it this time around, I don't know. But I've been rambling for long enough. I hope y'all enjoyed, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Later.